Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening, again, we will be studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and we will start with this mantra as usual. Tabu kathamritam tapta jivanam kabhivirilitam kalma shapaham sravanamangalam srimadatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev was visiting Balaram Bosh, and that is the description Master Masha has given, and we are reading that. And there many devotees are coming, assembling, because that was a card festival, and obviously there's a festivity, and Sri Ramakrishna was in a very joyful mood. And it is the Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, who incarnated as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So obviously it was a great day for him, but as a human form, as the Sri Ramakrishna, he was also talking with the other devotees. Last Wednesday we concluded with that unique vision of the Bhagavan, and which he disclosed to the Sri Ma and other people who were assembled there. And there he said that I saw the whole universe as a shalagrama, and in it I saw your two eyes. The whole universe as a shalagrama. And we have already discussed the shalagrama is the symbol of Lord Vishnu. And this Vishnu, Vistareti Vishnu, though there is a form of the Lord Vishnu, the form is Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, that he is having that form, and that form is only for us to meditate, so that we can have an idea. Otherwise, in reality, it is all pervasive, everywhere, constantly increasing. You cannot say no, or you cannot just conclude that this is this. This much is Vishnu, this much is God. Now you cannot say like that. There is no end of it. That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali, he said, Tar, that means him, the God, iti kora jayana. You cannot say this is the end of that. So that is called Vishnu. Now, how we, the ordinary people, will be able to understand that? So, it was a form that manifested, and in that form it was having the four hands, holding four different things, etc. All symbolism. This Vishnu, he is the creator. Now, sometimes we ask this question, then who is the Shiva? Who is this Brahma? Now, there are two different views when the Shaivites, those who are worshipping the Lord Shiva, they try to depict that the Lord Shiva is the creator. He is everything. The followers of the Lord Vishnu, they try to say this is the this. But if we go to the root of the name, Shiva means auspiciousness. Shiva means pavitrata. And what is that pavitrata? Unselfishness. He was not having any ego. The Lord Shiva was not having any ego. And that is purity. When you don't have any ego, that means you are not connected with anything. You are not connected with the world. Forget about your body and mind. And what is that? That is God. Now, Vishnu also the same. For our understanding, the Vishnu, the Brahma, the Shiva. But in reality, it is the supreme consciousness and the supreme power. The Hinduism, it helps us to build up an idea. It will give you some of the things that you start worshipping. Then you should do this, you should do that. Ultimately, through the process, they will make you completely free from attachment to these worldly things. And then they will teach you. We will come to that today. We are going to discuss, sir, have we any free will? One of the devotees, the younger devotees, he is asking Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna will give the answer. So let us read from the page 803 as we were continuing. And Sri Ramakrishna said, I saw your two eyes. The Master Mahashaya's eyes were there. That means he also belongs to the group of devotion. Sri Ramakrishna saw Narendranath in the Sapta Rishi, the great rishis, the holy personalities, who could keep their own personal identity in that realm where everything mingled with the Brahman. Even that. So they were so great in spiritual. So one of them was Narendranath, Swami Vivekananda. Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna saw Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, as the playmate of Lord Krishna. So like that, every time they are the same souls, the pure souls, they are coming and performing as the different roles. Performing different roles, why? So that we can understand it. At the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came in a different form. At the time of Sri Krishna, at the time of Sri Rama, now in the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, same pure souls they have come and they are performing in different characters. And we can say that like the drama, it goes on, and the movie, and that movie, suppose the movie's name is A. Now in the A, all those actors and actresses, they have been given some of the role and they are practicing, they're acting in that way, people enjoyed it. And next came another movie, say name is B. Same actor, actresses, now in different form, and now in different way they are so it is going on eternally. But why? Because these people are not bound. They are completely free, nitya mukta as they call it. Nitya, eternally, mukta, free. And who we are? Created by God. Then God has given us ego. And that ego, we are thinking that I am separate. That is the bondage. And in that bondage, I, that ego, is started thinking that I am the doer, I am the thinker, I am the performer, I am the enjoyer. And what I am enjoying? All these things in the world. What are these? There in the world? Only 5 objects. How I am enjoying? With the sense organs. So that way we are thinking that we are separate entities, and this is my family, and this is our society, this is our religion, this is our culture, this is our country, all separate, separate, separate. But when the realization comes, then we see that there is no difference at all. It's all consciousness, all pervading everywhere. That is the ultimate realization. So Sri Ramakrishna, slowly, he, the God himself, has taken the human form to teach us that. In reality, we are Brahman. In reality, we are as pure as God. But in practicality, we are not understanding that. And that is why the teacher has come. He is trying to guide us. Some will understand. Some will fail. Again, in the next class, in next session, again they have to register and to become a student. Again they will learn, again they fail, again they will try. This goes on. And that is called the creation. And in that we are all part. Who is intelligent? Those who will listen to the God, listen to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, listen and understand the true meaning of the teaching, and accordingly act. What will happen? They will be free from this. And after getting freedom from this, what they are achieving? Eternal joy and happiness and peace. Eternal. We are hankering for peace. We are hankering for joy. And wherever we think that we will get little joy, a little happiness, we jump on that. We are searching for that. Somebody just appreciating me, I am so happy. But the person who is appreciating, he is also temporary, and that appreciation is also temporary. Everything temporary, everything goes away. And then afterwards what? So this, when we understand, we say, okay, we don't need those things. Tabaiva baha taba nirta gite. One young person in the Vedic age, he said, Nachiketa. He said, I don't need all those things. You better keep it. And then he wanted the knowledge only. Friends, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's, this teaching, the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which is full of knowledge, and for everyone. Those who are starting the journey, for them. Those who are almost at the final, they are going to, almost at the final, then going to realize the God, for them too. Covering everything. So he was telling like this, in silent wonder aim, and the devotees listened to these words about his inner experience. At this moment, Sarada, another young disciple of the master, entered the room and saluted him. Master Sri Ramakrishna to Sarada, why don't you come to Dakshineshwar? Why don't you see me when I come to Calcutta? The Sarada, nobody tells me about it. So naturally the young boy, he don't get all the time the information. And nowadays we send out the flyer to those who have registered with us. All they are receiving the flyers and they are getting the information. Those who are interested. But some people, though interested, don't get any information because they don't registered with us with their email addresses. So how can you reach them? Maybe someday someone who is having our emails, our flyers, know about the information, will tell, well, something is going on over there. Do you like to go? So like that, Sarada came. Nobody tells me about it. Then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, next time I shall let you know. And to aim, smiling, make a list of these youngsters. A master and the aim, they laughed. But that was the correct attitude. They should be, if you make a list, then only you can reach out. And they also get the benefit. That is why we always appeal that you better send your email to us if you are interested. We will put that in our Google group, and then whatever is happening in the Vedanta Society Chicago, you'll be knowing it, because we will send you the flyers much earlier. The information will reach you. Then you can make a plan and all that. As our from this month, the next week, I think, in Ganges we are having the spiritual retreat. As before the pandemic we were having, only in pandemic period it was closed, and again we are having. Suppose some people are really interested to go to Ganges, like to spend those 2-3 days together and in the serene, beautiful place. But I was not knowing when it happened. Unless you give us your addresses, how can you reach? So, this young boy, when he came to Sri Ramakrishna told, well, I'll let you know. And so that you can come. You are interested to listen, and I am also interested to commute with you, talk to you. So both can have the benefit. He is asking Master Mahashaya to make a list of it. And Sarada, my relatives at home want me to marry. In those days, it was the custom to give the marriage to the boy and the girl very young age. So obviously he was pointing to him. How many times he has scolded me about marriage? This boy is so guileless, so simple. He was not having the complete idea what is marriage and what is that responsibility. But in the family, they think that he has become 12 or 13 or 14. He should marry. The girl child, they were engaged at the age of 6. Of course, most of the time they used to go to in-laws' house at the age of 18. As Ma Sharadamani Devi, she got engagement and at the age of 6. But he came to Dakshineshwar, to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, at her that 18 years age. So obviously that was the system, that was the custom. And Sharada, when their family members, they were discussing, he is disclosing over here. Sri Ramakrishna, why should you marry just now? Sharada is now in a very good state of mind. Formerly he had a hesitant look. Now his face beams with joy. That means he is understanding the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. See, the very young boy, and they are so simple, and of course in those days the society was very simple. So he is coming, listening to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, getting his blessings, and also trying to be spiritual and developing in spirituality. His face is beaming. What is the sign of advancement in spiritual life? Joy, happiness. If you are not happy, if you are all the time frowning, then you are not a spiritual person. So that way is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna giving the indication that now his face beams with joy. Sri Ramakrishna said to a devotee, will you kindly fetch Purna? Because he has come to Calcutta. Now look at the Sri Ramakrishna attitude. The Lord knew that what he is doing. He was connecting the younger generation, those who are not already married, those who are educated, so that he can give them the ideas, ideologies. So after him they can carry. So we are celebrating 125th year of the Ramakrishna Mission, which was founded in 1897 by Swami Vivekananda in Calcutta, in this particular house where Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is now celebrating the car festival. So that Balaram Bose house, the 1st May 1897, Vivekananda went back from the West and he called a meeting, and that was formed. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna gave the idea and he asked Swami Vivekananda to organize that. So slowly it came up. Now Sri Ramakrishna himself was making in this way, that after him, this younger generation, and when he is in life, when he is there, they should purify their mind, they should reach to the spiritual height, and then after him they will carry the flag of spirituality, so that they can go and reach to different places, different people. So why this organization? The Atmana Moksha Jagat Hita. Actually, there's a two effect. Atmana Moksha, Why a person leaves the hearth and home, becomes a monk or a nun? For his own liberation, for his own God realization or her God realization. And what the society is going to get? They will be getting the benefit of their practices. When they see this person is so truthful and so simple, so guileless, and so full of joy after practicing the spirituality, they will also stop and think, are we on the right track? Or shall we not follow this path? So that is the way, at least high moral values, that spreads in the society. And when there is morality in the human society becomes a place of joy, that is Swarg, that is the heaven. That is the ultimate idea. Atmana moksha jagat hita. What is the hita? Benefit. What is the benefit? They too will be happy, those who are living in the household life. How? Becoming more unselfish, more having service attitude for others, more developing love for others. As Lord Jesus said, love thy neighbor. So that loving the neighbor, understanding the neighbor, caring for them, that is called heaven. What is heaven then? Where we have to go to? After the death we will go to heaven, and the whole life I am in hell. What a good idea. So if I am tortured over here, suffer over here, what I am going to gain after death? We should enjoy our life in heaven, in this life here and now. How? By changing our attitudes, by changing our thought processes. Only positive thoughts. Let me be happy, let everyone be happy. That is the ultimate. Friends, you may be knowing that a great thing is going to happen. Swami Vivekananda came and attended the Parliament of World Religions in 1892. Then 1992-93, while celebrating the 100 years of the Parliament, a group was formed. Now, today, it is 2023, that group has come back to Chicago to organize a Parliament of Religion. I am one of the trustees of that, so I know that nearly 80 countries, they will be participating, people from 80 countries. And more than 660 different programs will be organized from 14th August to 18th August. We too will be there, and we too will be speaking and giving the Vedantic view over there in one of the meetings. That is on 18th from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. That is our slot. We will be speaking. And I have been given an opportunity to speak on behalf of the Hinduism in the plenary session, in the very first session. All different religious people, they will be giving their ideas. So I will be having some opportunity to speak about Hinduism. So this is what is Hinduism. Understanding the truth about this world. And world is temporary. So Sri Ramakrishna, he is talking with the younger people, making them a separate group, and he is also inviting and guiding the householder devotees, male and female, guiding them also, so that a group will be there, those who are already have taken up the responsibilities as a householder, but they should not only think about their family and their welfare, but whatever the knowledge, whatever they are having, they also should share it with others. That is the whole purpose. Golap Ma entered the room. Oh, Narendra arrived. Sri Ramakrishna asked a devotee to give him some refreshments. He was greatly pleased at the sight of Narendra. Narendra means afterwards Swami Vivekananda. When he fed Narendra, he felt that he was feeding Narayana himself, and he stroked Narendra's body affectionately. That is the different the connection. I mean affection for Narendra. Why? Because Narendra, he knew, he called him to come down. One of the great rishis of the seven rishis. There's the concept of the Hindus. And Narendra came, took that Narendra form, the human form, and he took birth in Calcutta, Shimla. That is still that his house now is an ashrama for the Ramakrishna mission. So that young boy, hardly 17, 18 years, highly intelligent, and was having a great personality. When the other young people are coming, Sri Ramakrishna used to talk to them in a different way. But when the Narendra is to come, Sri Ramakrishna is to behave completely different way. So when Naren came, he was so happy, immediately asked someone to give some refreshments. Then another great lady is entering. Golapma entered the room. She was a great devotee of Gopala and was blessed with many lofty spiritual visions. Kamarhati, that's the place, on the bank of the Ganga, a little away from Calcutta. This lady, who became widow at the age of 6 or so, just got married and then came to know the husband is dead. At that age, she was not understanding what is this husband and what is this death and all that. But as the society, they taught her that now you are a widow and you have to concentrate your mind on God and live a pious life. And that helped her. And she took it seriously and started praying to God. But as she became young, she wanted to have the God as her own son. This is the beauty of Hinduism. That you can think the God as your own son. It is not the one quote that should be given to everyone. No. You have the right to think about God in your own way. Arjuna thought the God is his friend. And Gopalma, she thought the God is her own child. So Gopala is the baby Krishna. She never worshipped the Krishna, the young Krishna, or the Krishna with the flute and Radha, or Krishna in the Kurukshetra. No, not that Krishna. But the Krishna when he was a baby. And Gopala is the childhood name of Sri Krishna. And she used to worship that, and she used to think that someday the God will manifest as her child, as Gopala. Then one day she came to know from somebody that there is a holy man residing in Dakshineshwar. From all the way from Kamarhati, she came in those days walking and met Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. When she entered into that room, she saw so many other people are sitting on the floor. Sri Ramakrishna is giving the talk, discussing something with them. As a lady, so she was shy and she was thinking, how can I enter into this room? But she cooked something and some that eatable she brought for Sri Ramakrishna. And she covered that with a cloth. Sri Ramakrishna noticed her and immediately started telling, what have you brought for me? Bring that over here. But she was feeling shy. If you read the biography, so wonderfully depicted that. Then she came, anyway, Sri Ramakrishna was going on insisting, I should eat what, just like a child. And she brought that, and he was eating, and he was commenting, you should mix this type thing and that then it will be more tasty, and etc. etc. That the lady came to see a holy man, but then she was thinking, oh my God, what a holy man is talking only about food and never said anything about the religion, how I should practice and what type of meditation I should do. He never said that. Anyway, not that much encouraged at the first meeting, she went back, and as usual, that she prepared the seat for meditation, sat over there, started her prayer. Then, from the 6 years to 60 years perhaps, I'm not very correct about the age, she practiced and prayed and did perform the pujas regularly. But today her prayer was answered. After meeting Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when she went back, that evening, she saw the God running here and there as a baby Krishna. And she could hear the baby laughing and then trying to talk to her. And as the naughty children they will be doing, touching this thing or that thing, she got up from his seat and started chasing that boy, forgetting that it is her God. She prayed for such a long period of time only to have that joy. She was full of joy. And next day, like a proud mother, she was carrying the baby Krishna who was sleeping on her shoulder. And she was carrying that baby and came again to Sri Ramakrishna. The moment she reached to that particular room where Sri Ramakrishna lived, immediately the Gopala, the baby Krishna, got up from the sleep and forced down from her lap, ran towards Sri Ramakrishna and mixed in his person. And that mother, Agharmani Devi, it was her name, she then started calling Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna as Gopala, because her Gopala, her God in that child form, mixed with the Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna became the Gopala, and she became the mother of the Gopala, Gopal's mother. In Bengali, Gopaler Ma. And this Gopaler Ma, she was, you can imagine how high spiritual, the mental attitude she was having. Even then she used to come and she will be paying respect to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling to her. And Gopal Ma was blessed with so many lofty spiritual visions. Sri Ramakrishna had asked Balaram to send a man to bring her from Kamarhati. The Balaram was a landlord, he was having manpower, and she had so many boats also, and the carriages, the rich people, they could. So she was very happy she came over there. As soon as she entered the room, she said, I am shedding tears of joy. With these words, she bowed before the Master Sri Ramakrishna, touching the ground with her forehead. Now Sri Ramakrishna, before the Agharmani Devi, Sri Ramakrishna is the Gopala. The Sri Ramakrishna said to her, what is this? You address me as Gopala and still you salute me? Because you are my mother, you should not do it. But she was thinking that no, as because the other people are there, I must pay respect to Sri Ramakrishna. Now go into the inner apartments and cook some curry for me. Because she was a very good cook, and Sri Ramakrishna and the Gopala, like a baby Krishna, he wanted to eat something. Put some spicy seasoning in it, so that I may get the smell from here. All laughed. Then the Gopal Ma, what will they, meaning the members of the household, think of me? Before she left the room, she said to Narendra, in a very fervent voice, my child, Have I reached the goal or have I further to go? As if she was asking this question to Narendra. Narendra was a young man, and why suddenly she is asking Narendra? In between the line, if we try to understand, then actually she understood maybe at that time Narendra was skeptic. When the Sri Ramakrishna and the Gopal Ma was conversing, must be he was looking with some questions on his face. Is this lady truly saw the Gopala? Truly saw the God in that child form? Is it possible? Maybe all these questions were crossing his mind. And Gopal Ma, understanding that, asking this question to Narendra. He is not asking, actually giving the suggestions. She is not asking this question to Narendra, giving the suggestions. It is possible. Afterwards, much afterwards, when Narendra himself realized God, himself understood all this, and when he went back from the West, some Western disciples followed him to Calcutta, particularly Sister Nivedita, Margaret Noble, and others. Narendra took these Western ladies to Gopal Ma. She was very old that time. And Narendra told, look at this India, eternal India, full of faith, full of love, full of purity, full of sacrifice. That is India. So those who take pride about the India and Indian culture should know it. So that is India. After the realization of God, she was there as normal as anyone. So in the final days, it is Sister Nivedita who served her. Personally, she used to serve her. She asked Narendra. The Gopal Ma asked this. It is the day of the car festival, so there was some delay in the worship of the family deity. When the worship was finished, Sri Ramakrishna was asked to have his meal. He went to the inner apartments. The women devotees were anxious to see him. Sri Ramakrishna had many women devotees. After his midday meal, Sri Ramakrishna sat in the drawing room with the devotees. It was 1 o'clock. A devotee brought Purna from his house. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to see the Gopal Ma. Gopal Ma has come. And Balaram Babu arranged that. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to meet that Purna, that young boy whose mind was very pure. Sri Ramakrishna appreciated him before everyone, every time. Now that Purna has also come. So it was a great day when all these pure souls, they all came together. With a great joy, the Master explained to Aim, here he is. Purna has come. Narendra, the younger Naren, Narayan, Haripada, and other devotees were talking with the Master. Now look at it, the Sri Ramakrishna Shanga, Sri Ramakrishna organization taking form. And Sri Ramakrishna asked the Holy Mother, you must take care of all these boys. Because they have no place to go. You must guide. The mother was wondering, how can I, as a lady, can do it? And Sri Ramakrishna told, you must have to do it. And you will do it much more than me. And Ma Saradamani Devi truly did that. In those days, the organization of the monks, unthinkable. Lord Buddha did some organization of the monks, but that was very loosely. They used to live in one place and then they will be leaving. There was no that much of the organized way of working. The Hindus were also having, because Shankaracharya, much afterwards, after the Lord Buddha, Shankara also made the four matas and then divided the 10 way of the all Hindu monks, the Tsunami Sambradaya, the different classes of monks. They are all Vedantic monks, but in 10 different groups, and they were under these four big matas, etc., etc., but very loosely. The young boy, he has come out, he has taken sannyasa, he lived with his guru for some time, and then afterwards the guru will ask him, now you are ready, go away, and start your own ashrama or your own institute. He will become the guru, he will initiate, and some people will follow him. That way, slow everywhere. But in one organization, all the monks, nearly 2000 at present, in the Ramakrishna mission, 2000. So they are all under one administration. And that is excellent. Almost impossible, because the monks don't want anything, neither the salary nor anything. That the people, they work in the offices because of those things. And they know, if I am losing the job, it will be difficult for me. For the monks, there is nothing losing the job or anything. Wherever they will be getting the food, they will be getting the followers, there will be no problem for them, at least in India. Then how come they were all together in one ideology? That is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And they loved Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And one practice, eradicate, remove the ego. If you have the ego, then only you won't be able to adjust in the Shanga, in the association. Why people can't live together? Two brothers even can't live together. A family is breaking. Why? Because of the tremendous ego. A newly married lady, she don't like to live with the in-laws. Why? Ego. So everywhere it is the clashes of the ego. In the offices and other organizations, when you see, it is the other bindings are there. That's why they live together. And in the monastic organization like ours, where there is nothing but the ideology, think about it. It's the heaven and pavement difference. It's the heaven and pavement difference. The monks living together in the Ramakrishna mission, almost everyone are capable. Even then, they will give up all their own ideas, plans, and they will go on listening to the organization. Whatever they asked him to do, they will do. So that is the way it goes. So the ideal is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And what is that ideal? Purity and love. And purity comes from unselfishness. So love and unselfishness. And how you practice that? By eradicating your ego. That is the only way. So become pure. How? By eradicating your ego. And how you can eradicate? Abolish the ego? By living with others. Though you are more intelligent, more capable, even then, your whole life you are going on listening and performing without any murmuring. That is the spiritual practice. Many, they joined the Ramakrishna mission, and afterwards, because they were having their own ideas, they understood that we won't be able to perform it. They went out, they started their own ashrama. They are successful. That is okay. But they only planned in their own way and they performed that. They became the guru. So it was all right. But what about eradication of the ego? Unless and until you live, when you live all alone in a jungle or maybe in a secluded place, maybe in a desert. You are a very holy man because you are not having anyone to fight with. But when you are living in the community and adjusting with everyone, and at the same time increasing your spirituality by performing your own duty without murmuring and with a happy and an intellectual way performing your duty, offering it at the feet of the God, that is called spiritual practice. So that is present. Sri Ramakrishna collecting the young people and making a group. At the same time, he is giving the ideas to the householders so that they will support them from outside with the monetary support and other supports. And this movement will go on. And what is the movement actually? To make people gods. That is what Swami Vivekananda said. Then Sri Ramakrishna, he was saying like this. Now when this thing was going on, after the midday, Sri Ramakrishna sat in the drawing room with the devotees. It was 1 o'clock. A devotee brought Purna from the house. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. All these young people have come. Now the young Naren asked, said, have we any free will? So this is the question. Have we any free will? This question actually, even today, this is oft the people will be asking this question, that again and again, because the confusion, God has created this world, and it is God only when He wishes everything is happened. But then what we are going to do with it? I am suffering because God wants me to suffer. I am enjoying because God wants me to enjoy. I am just a doll. I am just a machine. I have nothing to do. Then why shall I practice spirituality? As we were discussing a minute before, that we have to eradicate our ego, but not the self-confidence. Self-confidence should be there, but not the ego. So that is the way, if we are thinking, then what I am going to do? Because God is doing everything. So this young Naren asked this to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna gave the answer from the Advaitic point of view. What is the Advaitic point of view? Now let us first read what Sri Ramakrishna said. Sri Ramakrishna said, just try to find out who this I is. Who am I? Try to find out. Now the question is, what am I going to do? Because I have nothing to do. Everything is predestined. If it is predestined, everything, including Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, even a dry leaf won't fall unless it is destined by God. To give an idea, to give the impression that everything is predestined. And when we understand this, he is telling, now I am suffering. What I should do, I. Who is this I? While you are searching for I, he comes out. I am the machine and he is the operator. You have heard of a mechanical toy that goes into a store with a letter in its hand. You are like that toy. In those days in Calcutta, in the Chinatown, they developed a toy, and then just to roll, the toy will roll and carry something. So that was a great the attraction for people in those days. So it says that you have heard about that mechanical toy. God alone is the doer. Do your duties in the world as if you were the doer, but knowing all the time God alone is the doer and you are the instrument. But Sri Ramakrishna didn't go in explaining. he gave the reply to this question and completely and from Advaitic point of view. If we say Vedanta, Vedanta has three schools: Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Dvaita. And this Advaita means those who believe that it is only one and there is no two. And that is Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, who propagated this. So this Advaita says, who am I? Now, being a student of the Vedanta, you must be knowing, many of you constantly hearing about the Vedantic point, that when we are looking to ourselves, we see our reflection in the mirror and we say, oh, this is a body. Am I this body? Then I pause and think how that can be. Because I was a little baby. Now you see I am a young man. Now again I am going to, because 2-3 teeth have fallen, that means I am going to be old. And what will happen at that time? Then ultimately I am going to die. So the body is changing. When you look at your pictures, that you were a little baby, and then you are growing up, going to the school, you are playing, you are a young man, then you are married, then you are a grown-up person, then ultimately you are retired. All these pictures are hanging before you. You look at your own whole life, and can you recognize who are you there? The body is changing, then how I, the small little boy, now a grown-up man, are the same? If I considered the body as the real, then the little tiny body of mine and the grown-up body of mine, which is one? Which one is me? Tiny body or the bigger one? So that means it is changing. How can I say that I am constantly changing? No, this body cannot be. The things that is changing cannot be I. First thing. Second is the mind. The mind that thoughts. As a child, I used to think so many things. As a grown-up person, responsible person, I am thinking completely different way. I am taking the decision. The mind is also not me. Friends, Vedanta will never teach you, Advaita Vedanta will never teach you to believe. Advaita Vedanta will ask you to understand through reasoning, through vichara. And these are the reasons. If I am not the body, if I am not the mind, then who am I? We are always associated with this body, we are always associated with the mind, but now the reasoning proves that I am not, because it is changing. So which one is me? And they say it is the I which is present in every changes. I was a baby, I was a young man, I was an old person. In every stage, I is there. In that case, which is this I? Eternal. Because before birth, I must be there. After death, I must be there. Otherwise, how suddenly I was born and then I started thinking it cannot be. And there are many other things are there. As the Hindus, they say, the previous birth, a reincarnation theory, then karma theory. So all these are total that you have to understand. And then only you will know when I say, I have to try, shall I? Of course you should. The moment the question rises in the mind, I have to try to go beyond this bondage, that means I am not conformed that I am not the body, I am not the mind. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, as long as the upadhi exists, upadhi is a technical term in Sanskrit. It means I am a male, I am a female, I am educated, I am uneducated, I am wealthy, I am not wealthy. All these things are called upadhis. And upadhi means it is superimposed on you. When I was a little baby, I was not knowing what is this PhD. I grown up. I completed the PhD. Then I added with my name doctorate. So, Doctor so and so. And then I became the principal of this. So, principal of this. So, all things are adding. It's called upadhi, superimposed on the person, but it is not the real. It all goes away. So, as long as the upadhi exists, I exist. I am a scholar, I am a jnani, I am a wealthy, I am honorable, I am the master, father, teacher. All these ideas are begotten of ignorance. Friends, you have to stop here and think. So shall I not study? Shall I not become a teacher? Of course you should. But in that case, you are trying to do, but you are not sometimes successful. Why? So that there comes the question. When I try, I take the responsibility on me. Then why should I blame the God? No question of God. You do. And when you are not successful, you are not satisfied, you suffer. And when you suffer, you should not blame God. Why God is giving this suffering? It is not. Your karma phala. That is one way. If you are strong enough to stand on your own feet and say that I am the doer of my everything, so I am not going to blame anybody. Of course you can. That is a wonderful path, but it needs strong mind. But if you are thinking of God, at the same time, you don't like to do anything. No, that won't do. So you have to understand it clearly. A little baby on the lap of a mother doesn't do anything. The baby knows that when I am hungry, mother is going to feed me. But a 5 years old or 6 years old won't do that. She will cry, she will go here and there to find out food. So that I has already come. If I can eradicate my I, my ego, and mix with God, then there is no problem. The God will take care of me. It is in I will quote from the Bhagavad Gita, in the Gita 14 chapter 3rd verse, in the first line the Lord said, Mama yoni mohad brahma tashmin garbham dadamaham. I am the creator and I give life to everything. So I am the father of all beings. I give life to everything. That means we are also from the same God. So that is one thing. And again, Lord is mentioned. That means the God is the controller. Again in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is mentioning. Why we are quoting? Because these are the scriptures. And there the Lord Krishna is mentioning, Moyoi vaite nihata purvameva nimitto matra bhava sabhya sachim. When the Arjuna, those who know about this, they will understand. In the Mahabharata, the war, when the Arjuna, he was refusing to fight, then the Sri Krishna said, well, Arjuna, if you don't do, it will be done, because I have already completed it. But if you do, you will get the benefit of it. That's all. Now, it is like a drama writer, a play writer, if he wants, he can keep the hero alive, or if he wants, he can kill the hero also. Now, three people, they were acting in that, and after one or two scenes, the writer wrote that they should die in that situation. Now, these three people went to the writer and said, to the director also, "Sir, please, please give us one or two more chances." And when they are praying to the writer and the director of the drama, "Sir, please help us. We want to act one or two more scenes." They consider, okay. The director says, "Okay, no problem for me. I can adjust that." The writer changes the writing and they get the opportunity for other scenes also. So, where is our effort? To go to the writer, playwriter, and request him to change the drama for me, and to go to the director to help me, and they get the benefit. So, individual, we can pray to God, "Oh God, please help me to do this." If the God wills, our prayer will be answered. Many people's prayer are answered. Why? Well, if we go to God and tell Him that I like to survive a little more so that I can complete, sometimes it is happening. So we can do only otherwise it is already done. As in that moyai vaite niyata purvameva. I have already killed these people. Mahabharata war that you are thinking that going to happen, it is not. All is already said. Like the play writer, he has already depicted all this, the thing is ready. I think by this way we should try to understand. We will continue in our next class. Thank you, friends.
So VJ has a two-part question. First part is, do you think the world is moving towards the betterment or towards the worst? First part.
Biji, it depends on world is going in its own way. Even in the Satya Yuga also there were some bad people. Even the Ramayana that we see in the Ramachandra's age, there were bad people. Rama had to fight with Ravana and so many Rakshasas. So dark and light, bad and good is always there. You have to decide in which side you will go, in which camp you like to join, bad or good. You don't bother about all these things. It will be just like this. Only thing you should think, I am going to be good. I am going to eradicate my ego and developing the devotion for God, and by that way I like to enter into the eternal happiness, which is the goal of every human life. Thank you.
Second part, she is asking, how do I differentiate if I am doing things due to my raga slash dvesha, or am I doing God's wish?
The raga and desha. Raga means attachment. Desha means aversion. It is very easy for any mature person to understand when I am doing something, am I having some attachment to that or some the personal benefit? Then it is raga. Or not doing because I am angry with those people, dvesha. So it is very easy to understand. Whenever you are doing, if you are free from these two, you are doing the spiritual work. No attachment, no aversion, just for the duty, for the happiness of the God I am doing. That is the best way, and that is called karma yoga. That purifies the mind. Thank you. Okay, friends, let us complete today's with this prayer. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam भक्तानुकम्पाधृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं त्वं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु।